Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel At Home with Chelle. In today's video I'll be sharing with you 5 super easy healthy meals that the whole family will enjoy. So for all 5 meals I will include all of the ingredients that you need, and I will also link this in the description box down below, so if you want to print it or buy all the ingredients when you go shopping, then it's nice and easy for you. I'll also be including the calories per meal. All of the meals, I think bar one, are all under 500 calories, and for any of you following Slimming World, I'll also be including the Syns per meal, as well as how long they take to make from start to finish. So I really hope that you enjoy this video and find it useful. If you do make any of the meals and you enjoy them, then please do let me know in the comments down below. I always say this, but I'm always really interested if people make the dinners that I show and actually enjoy them. So if you do enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you are new and like this kind of content, I do make quite a lot of food content over here. And over on my Instagram, I do upload my weekly meal plans on my stories, so I'll link that down below. And I've recently set up a bit of a food Instagram page called Eat Well Not Less. So if you want to follow me over there too, there's lots of different recipes and meal inspo over there. The first meal that I'm sharing with you today is a prawn stir fry. So you don't have to use prawns if you don't like them. You can obviously substitute it and use chicken or pork or anything else instead, or obviously make it vegetarian if you don't want to eat meat. This meal honestly takes about 10 minutes to make. It's completely sin-free on Slimming World and comes in at only 330 calories, serving 4 people. Place 250 grams of noodles into a pan and top with boiling water. You then want to get a frying pan and place this on a medium heat. Spray it with some fry light and then add in 3 whisked eggs. Add a pinch of salt and pepper and then lightly scramble. Once it's scrambled, place in a bowl, cover with tin foil and put to one side. Just quickly wipe around the pan with some kitchen roll and then spray it again with a little more fry light. Wipe the pan out and add some more fry light, then add 2 crushed garlic cloves, 3 inches of fresh ginger that I've just finely diced, and a packet of stir-fry vegetables. You can get these in any supermarket, they're already pre-done. You can obviously add any veg that you've got lying around, but for simplicity I just add one of the pre-packed stir-fry veg packs. Add 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice to the vegetables and give it a good stir. Continue to fry for around 5 minutes. Meanwhile, whilst the vegetables are cooking, you want to make your sauce so in a small bowl add 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce and 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce, mixing them together really well. After about 5 minutes, add a pack of fresh prawns to the vegetables and then pour in this sauce, mixing it all together. Strain the noodles and add them to the veg, again giving it a really good stir, and then lastly add in the scrambled egg and it's ready to serve. Next up is a pasta bake. So this pasta bake is a bit of a twist on Hunter's chicken. So it basically includes chicken, bacon and a barbecue style sauce that I'll be making. This one does take slightly longer, probably around 25 minutes from start to finish, including all of the prep. So the pasta bake comes in at 426 calories split between 4 people and is completely sin free but does use your healthy extra A on Slimming World.
Start by preheating the oven to 200 degrees and cooking 200 grams of pasta. I used fusili, but you can obviously use whatever pasta that you prefer. Then spray a frying pan with fry light and add 1 diced red onion. Fry for a couple of minutes until it started to slightly soften. Then add 2 crushed garlic cloves and 1 diced red pepper. Fry for another couple of moments. Then you want to add in 2 diced chicken breasts along with 4 bacon medallions that I have just cut into small strips. Turn the heat up very slightly so it starts to brown the chicken on all sides. Once the chicken has started to brown slightly, then add in 1 tin of chopped tomatoes and all of your herbs and spices. So you will need 2 teaspoons of barbecue seasoning. You can pick this up in most supermarkets. Then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of chilli powder, 1/4 teaspoon of mustard powder, 2 teaspoons of granulated sweetener. Mix all of these spices in and then it's time to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. Stir it really well, making sure everything is well mixed, and then crumble in 1 chicken stock cube and simmer for a couple of minutes. By this point your pasta should be cooked, so strain that and add it to the sauce, mix it really well and place in an oven-proof dish. Sprinkle with 40 grams of low-fat grated cheddar cheese and then place in the preheated oven for 8 to 10 minutes. After this time, the cheese should be nice and crispy on top and it's ready to serve just with a simple side salad.
The next meal is salmon skewers served with couscous. Now, I always try and eat fish at least once a week, and salmon cooked like this, you basically bake it on skewers in the oven. Honestly, it was absolutely delicious. If you try any meals from this video, then try this one. It is incredible and super easy to make. It literally only takes about 15 minutes to make, hardly any ingredients and hardly any prep, so ideal for a midweek meal. So this meal comes in at 489 calories and is only half a sin if you are following Slimming World, and as I said, takes around 15 to 20 minutes to make.
Preheat the oven to 200 degrees and then remove the skin from 4 salmon fillets and cut them into large chunks, placing them in a bowl. Once they're in a bowl, sprinkle over 1 teaspoon each of ground cumin and paprika. Mix them together well to coat the salmon, and then you want to thread them on to skewers. So I'm using metal ones here, but you can use wooden ones. You just need to remember to soak them first so they don't burn in the oven. Squeeze the juice from half a lemon over the salmon and place it in the oven for 10 minutes, turning halfway through. Whilst the salmon is cooking, I'm going to prepare the couscous by placing 100 grams of Moroccan style couscous into a bowl and pouring over 300 ml of boiling water. Give that a good stir and then cover it. So I'm just covering it with a plate and then place it to one side. Next you need to make a yoghurt dressing. So to do this you'll need to add a handful each of mint, parsley and basil to a mini blender or food processor. Then add 4 tablespoons of natural fat-free yoghurt. Lastly a squeeze of lemon and then blitz it until it's smooth. The couscous and the salmon should now be ready, so remove the cover and add some parsley. Then you want to add a few salad bits. You can add whatever that you have, but I added 2 sliced spring onions, 4 sliced radishes, 5 quartered cherry tomatoes, a quarter of a cucumber and then a handful of some sweet corn. And then I just mixed it all together, placed it on a plate and then added the salmon skewers on top. Then you want to serve it with the yoghurt dressing and a wedge of lemon, and honestly this dish is absolutely delicious.
Next up is a curry dish. I absolutely love curries, especially making them from scratch, because a lot of people think curries are really unhealthy, but if you make them from scratch and don't use any of the ghee and butter, then they can actually be really good for you, and you can include lots of veggies. So this is a chicken and spinach curry, which honestly, don't judge it by what it looks like, because it doesn't look very nice with the colours when the spinach is blended, but honestly, it tastes really amazing. It's quite mild as well, so it's nice enough for the whole family to enjoy. So served with the rice, this comes in at 472 calories per person. It's completely Syns free and takes around 20 minutes to make.
Spray a frying pan with fry light and add 1 finely diced onion and fry for 3 minutes. Whilst the onions are cooking, get your spices ready. I normally do this just by adding them into a small bowl. So you will need 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, 2 teaspoons of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric and 1/4 teaspoon of chilli powder. Mix them all together in the bowl and then place to one side. Once the onions have started to soften, add in a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger, which I've just finely diced, and 2 crushed garlic cloves. Fry for around another 30 seconds and then you want to add in your spice mixture. Just stir that continuously on a low heat for around 30 seconds. Add in half a carton of passata, 250 grams of frozen spinach and 250 ml of chicken stock that I've just made from using a stock cube. Simmer that on a low heat for around 5 to 6 minutes until the spinach has completely thawed. Once it's thawed, pour it into a jug or a bowl. Try not to spill it everywhere like I did, and then you want to place it to one side. Then add a packet of chicken. So I've just got some pre-diced chicken here, or you can just use 2 diced chicken breasts, to the saucepan and fry them for around 5 minutes on all sides over a medium heat. Whilst the chicken is cooking, then you want to blitz the curry sauce using a hand blender. Once it is blended, it doesn't look very nice, but trust me, it tastes amazing. Then add the sauce to the chicken and simmer just for the last couple of minutes and make sure the chicken is cooked before serving. And lastly, serve it on top of some rice.
Final dish is a bit of a Friday night treat, and it's essentially like a chicken kebab. So it's chicken swaraki, I can never say that, I think that's how you say it, chicken swaraki, which I have served with homemade chips and a flatbread. You can leave the flatbread out because I didn't realise how high in Syns the flatbread was. So the flatbread is actually 9 Syns, but I'd been really good on this particular day and it was Friday and fancied a bit of a treat, and whatever this was, it was still a lot less than it would be if you obviously got a takeaway. But if you don't want to use the Syns, then you can obviously leave that out and just have the chicken with the wedge, but if you don't want to use the Syns on the flatbread, then you can obviously leave that out and then just have the chicken with the chips themselves, because this is a really nice dinner and it does feel really naughty. It does actually feel like you're having a fake away kebab. So this one comes in at 540 calories per portion, and as I mentioned is 9 Syns if you include the flatbread, but if you don't include that then it's Syn free, and it does take a little bit longer to make, probably around 25 to 30 minutes in total.
So the first thing you want to do is get around 3 to 4 chicken breasts and then cube them into kind of chicken nugget size pieces. Put them in a bowl like so, and then I'm just going to squeeze over the juice from 1 lemon. Give that a good stir so all of the chicken is coated in the lemon juice. Next you want to add your seasoning. So what I've done is basically put all of the seasoning into a bowl. So you will need 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of thyme, and then 1 each of ground cumin, garlic powder, and then a pinch of cayenne pepper, and then just a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. So then what I've done is just place that into a small bowl like so, mixed it all together so everything will be evenly coated, and then basically just sprinkle that over the chicken, stirring it all in to make sure it's all evenly coated. So once you're happy that all the chicken is coated, you want to just cover this and place it in the fridge for about an hour to marinate. Once the chicken's in the fridge, then put the oven on to preheat at 200 degrees. So I'm going to serve this with some homemade chips. You don't have to, you can of course just have the kebab itself, but I'm really hungry tonight. So I basically just peeled some potatoes, cut into chip-like shapes, and then I'll just parboil them for around 5 minutes, and then I'll place them in the oven to cook. After about 5 minutes, strain the potatoes and then layer them in a baking tray. I always like to give them a little shake as well because it makes them nice and crispy on the outsides. Spritz a baking tray with some fry light and then add your chips. Sprinkle over some salt and pepper. Top with a little bit of fry light again, and then place them in the oven for around 35 minutes. Remove the chicken from the fridge, and then you just want to thread the chicken pieces onto some skewers. So I'm using metal ones, you can use wooden ones if you want, but just make sure you soak them for about an hour so they don't burn when you put them in the oven. So just thread the chicken on like so. spritz them with some fry light and then place in the oven with the chips. Whilst the chicken's cooking, I'm just going to make the tzatziki. So I'm going to add in about 4 tablespoons of fat-free yogurt. Then you want to add a teaspoon of garlic powder, about a tablespoon of mint sauce, squeeze of the juice from half a lemon, and then just some salt and pepper in there as well. Give it all a really good mix together, and there you have it, your tzatziki dressing that will go on top of your chicken once it's cooked. And then you want to serve this. I've just served it with some flatbreads, and then you can see it looks so delicious. The yogurt dressing, I've just got some pickled cabbage, some salad, the chips I made, and then just served it out like this, and then it's there for everyone to help themselves to. Honestly, this dish is delicious and so much nicer than a kebab as well.
So they are the 5 meals that I wanted to share with you today. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and it's given you some inspiration of different meals that you can have during the week, because I know how easy it is to get in a bit of a rut with meals, and hopefully these ones are also quite easy to make. They're healthy and obviously something that the whole family can enjoy too. So if you did like it, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up so I know to make more, and hopefully I will see you again on my channel soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!